Alright folks, James Gunn's The Suicide Squad, the sequel to the worst movie ever made. Let's talk about it. Folks, I know you've probably seen the title, and you're probably, if you're like most people, if you share the opinion of most people, you're probably pretty aghast right now. Maybe you just went ahead and hit the dislike already. I did like the movie, okay? I did, but I also have a lot of complaints. I'm going to levy a lot of complaints on this film, but I want you to know they don't have as much stock as you might think. Overall, the movie was fun. It was what it needed to be. It was a fresh take on these fresh characters in a genre that is sometimes stale. And I like it for that. I think it definitely rejuvenated sort of DC. And if this is the future we're going, where they're going to take risks and fun projects like this, I'm excited to see it. But pretty conflicted on the film as a whole. I'll say the comedy was very hit or miss. There were obviously some hilarious jokes. And a lot of it actually had to do with the gore. A lot of the gore, the more gory moments gave way to funny jokes. But a lot of it just felt like James Gunn trying to be edgy. There's some just pretty bad jokes in here. And I mean, there's not much you can do to avoid that. Obviously, comedy is subjective. So if you laughed at every joke, I mean, good, more props to you. But a lot of it just wasn't funny to me. I found myself just sitting there. There were a few really loud laughers in our theater, but just not laughing. Folks, I was really hoping that I would just love this film. And it's always hard to gauge like how much of a part the hype played into how I feel about a film. Like if I was too hyped for a certain movie, maybe that's the reason it let me down. And so I'd like to let my thoughts continue to. I like to continue to process them. And of course, whatever rating I give it always goes up or down. Wherever I put it in my end of year list, the 2021 can always go up or down. But I was hoping that the narrative would be the first Suicide Squad is just my least favorite film of all time. I despise it. I watched it again relatively recently. If you want to check out that review to see if I felt the same about it, and I absolutely do. It is atrocious, and I hope to never really watch it again. Folks, the action was standard. A lot of it was practical, which I appreciate, but it was really nothing spectacular, and therefore I don't think I can necessarily praise it or really dock it. The story is pretty lackluster, and that's fine, especially when they try to focus more on the characters and specific scenes and the comedy, of course. But the story, just go in not expecting, an excellent story by any means. Folks, the real standout of the film, and everyone knows this by now, they highlight it in all the marketing in the trailer, is the excellent batch of characters that play off each other really well. Even, I'm going to get into spoilers, by the way, for now. I know I haven't yet, but spoilers. I was going to say, even, the characters who die, like, instantly and stuff like that, they're great characters. They're funny. It seems that there was thought put into them. There's some that are just purely for comic relief, like Weasel and King Shark, who I have no problem with, and then there's some that have a little more nuance. Also great. Another note just about the comedy and the characters is that the whole killing everyone off in the beginning sort of gag, it's funny. I mean, I liked it. But there's something that rubs me wrong about just killing off characters. Like, Flag was given an okay death, but literally Polka Dot Man is such a sympathetic guy, is literally just splattered. And they really don't give it a second thought whatsoever, and that sort of rubbed me the wrong way. It didn't work comedically or really story-wise, and sort of shocking, I guess. Folks, I never really noticed any real tangible tension in the film, and there was, I'll take that back, one specific point, and by the way, spoilers if you haven't clicked off yet, it's the whole plot twist thing with Peacemaker, and that was the one time I wasn't really expecting it, and it was a nice, obviously who's going to win and whatnot, but it was a nice moment of tension. But everything else in the movie, every single action, whether it be Starro or the club or whatever, never any tension. This one might seem like a minor complaint. I've actually seen a lot of people praising it, so it's obviously not an issue for a lot of people. But the music choices in this film never worked for me. Not in a single scene did I feel it fit well, which is surprisingly shocking because this is the same guy that did Awesome Mix Volume 1 and 2, which are two of the greatest film soundtracks of all time. He did it twice, and here didn't like any of it. And I didn't think it fit well at all in any part of the movie. Unfortunately, I'm not sure why this movie didn't work for me. I really wanted it to. The more I watched it, I was like, no, I'm not loving it. And I just hated it. I was like, please, Give me something to love. I can't entirely figure out why I don't love it. I tried to articulate my thoughts the best I could. And these are all stuff. It's no hate on James Gunn, because I love what he's doing. I love the guy. He's fun. He's fresh. I love the Guardians films. If you know me, you know this. They're great movies. And he's done this stuff before. He does it great. So I can't exactly tell you what went wrong here for me. Maybe it's full control. Maybe it's the R-rated factor. Maybe he just wanted to experiment with a new story, new characters. But I didn't adore it. I didn't adore it. I know some of you did, and I'm very happy for you. Didn't love it. All right, folks. So, in conclusion, a little disappointed with the Suicide Squad. I did like it, but I didn't love it. And so I think I'm going to give it a B. I think a B is fair. I definitely liked it, okay? I liked the movie. It's a relatively high B, maybe middle B, but I didn't love it. A B for the Suicide Squad. All right, folks, that's my review of the Suicide Squad. I might rewatch soon just to really nail down my thoughts, and I could absolutely love it this time, or I could go down on it. We'll see, folks. Or I might just not rewatch it at all. I've been eating Peach Reviews. You've been amazing. Let me know your thoughts on the Suicide Squad down below. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.